Hey, what's up everyone? I have a 22,200 gallon pool here. You can see it's super cloudy. It's got a green kind of tint to it. I've gone ahead and shocked this thing heavily a handful of days ago. I ran the pump for about 3 days straight. I confirmed my chemicals are at right levels, and I'm still dealing with this cloudiness. So today what we're going to do is we're going to try this Flocculant. It's called Dropout. That's the brand that I'm using. And we're going to see if we can clear this up overnight. Before we do that though, there's a couple of steps we want to take. And the first step is to brush the walls. So let's get to it. All right, next thing we want to do is come over here. We're going to shut our pump off for just a second. And look, you really want to only do this if you have a sand filter type pump. That way we can put it initially on a Recirculate, but then when we vacuum up all the debris at the bottom at the end, we'll put it on waste. That way it's not coming right back through your filter and causing damage there. So what we'll do is we'll switch this around to Recirculate, and then we'll turn it back on for a little bit here. All right, so reading this here, it says that we're gonna wanna put in 8 ounces per 10,000 gallons. So mine's just over 20,000 gallons. We're gonna use half of this. What a lot of people do is they'll just throw it directly into their skimmer and have the pool circulate it through. But on the back of this, it says you wanna cover the surface of your pool pretty evenly. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do 3 batches. So we're gonna be using 16 ounces total. I'll use about 4 or 5 ounces, I guess a little over 5 ounces, and 3 separate buckets of water. We'll mix it up and we'll just splash it over the pool in 3 different sections. That way it kind of covers the pool and can start grabbing these particles and drop them to the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. Just give it a little swirl there, and we'll splash it across. All right, and we'll do that 2 more times. Let it circulate for about 2 to 3 hours. We'll shut the pump off and let it all sit overnight and see what we get. All right, it's been about 16 hours or so since I've put the Flocculant in the pool. If you look closely, you can see we have this nice ring around the entire pool now. It's pulled all that debris, all that algae to the bottom. What you're really looking for is to be able to see to the bottom of the deep end. It's hard to see on camera, but I can see clearly through it all. So now we're gonna do the worst part, which is vacuuming everything up. Before we get vacuuming though, there's one thing that we want to do. We got to come over here to our pool filter and make sure that we are not running it through the filter. So we'll take our multi-port valve, we'll spin it, and we're going to put it on waste. That way everything we vacuum goes out to the waste. The other thing you want to do is, if you can, completely turn off the I haven't done this in a while, but completely turn off the I guess the main drain at the bottom. That way we're only pulling from our skimmer. That gives us more pressure, and then that way we're not taking water from the main drain and disposing it. So let's get that set up and we'll get vacuuming. All right, so we got our hand vac in, and we are just gonna slowly work back and forth and get all of this sent out to the waste. One thing to keep in mind is you wanna keep it, pretty slow. Don't go too fast, because we don't wanna knock much of it back up into the water. You see it's really vacuuming it up really clean now. Just go ahead and do this. You're gonna knock some of it back into the water, don't worry, it will settle later. You can vacuum it by hand. You can even throw at that point machine vac, automatic vacuum in to get it back up. If you do that, just make sure that you backwash your filter immediately afterwards. So let's get this pool clean. Once I get a section clean like this, I also put the hose back in and start filling it back up to kind of get ahead of that game. Just a quick update on the process. It has taken a ton of water out, but you can see it's looking a lot cleaner everywhere else. So I have 2 hoses going now. We're trying to fill this whole thing back up, and we'll finish vacuuming all that up. All right, so we have it all vacuumed up. One thing I went ahead and did was got my chemicals right. I got the filter running. It looks a lot better. My pool's always a little stained on the inside, so it's not this perfect blue like some people have, but definitely water I would go swimming in now. So hope this video helps y'all out. If it did, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and thank y'all so much for watching.